Yeah, ain't nobody backing me up. Kill myself, nah, I'ma back you up. Before you fucking stab me up, I'll knock you fucking out, man, grab the cup. I don't do drugs, I don't drink or smoke, I don't do crime, so they can't lock me up. I knock you down, bitch, I'ma smack you up. 2 fists here cause I had enough. Yeah, you acting like a pussy, you can't do shit. Chuck your body in the back of a bush. If I had a car, I'll probably push it over you just to get the work out. You a wuss. I ain't had lunch, man, I ain't had money in my pocket for you to rob off me. You don't get it, got it, bitch, I'ma put your body back in that coffin. After I drag you out again and start pumping your fucking ass, hanging you up, cause I need training. You don't need shit, man, you ain't got a brain in your skull, man, your cranium. You look like an alien, got no fucking time, bitch, I'm just saying. Fuck motherfuckers, ain't a slave to fear. I'm a bust motherfuckers, it's the chains I break and I'm here. I ain't scared of the rain, you see, so fuck yourself, you're ashamed to be.
What's up and welcome to this documentary, this mini documentary here with me, Richard Clark. In this video we're going to talk about some topics, or I am. Basically it's one topic, and that's the topic of the deadly blow. You know, a long time ago when I was growing up as a kid, when I was in school, I knew someone. This was in secondary school. He was one of the many bullies in the group that used to bully me. And there was one guy, he and his back then friends, okay, any of you guys might be watching this now and hopefully you've changed or become more positive for the better. Because peace is the only answer in life, okay? But I remember something that one guy said, and I won't say his name here, but there was a guy, I don't know if you remember saying this to me, if you're watching this, but he said something, and this guy said, okay, he wasn't really asking me directly, but he asked me in a jokingly way, kind of just taking the mickey, just trying to make me look stupid in front of people as usual and belittle me. And the guy said to his friends, the other bullies, my classmates, my class members, he said to me, "Is it true, Richard, that you can deliver a deadly blow to the head?" To which they all laughed. In fact, I've had this kind of a joke, you know, this kind of pee taken from people all of my life. People looking at me and thinking I'm weak and all of that. I was even kind of mocked in various jobs that I worked in also back in London. I grew up in South London in some rough areas. You know, my whole life, as I say, in school, when I was in primary school, I was bullied. Later on in secondary school, I was bullied, and I had to move to another secondary school. There was bullying in the colleges that I went to for a very short time. It got really bad, and I had to, you know, leave and stuff like that, and spend time off. I've been bullied in various jobs I've worked in. I've been bullied by adults and kids all my life. I've been bullied, I was mugged and stuff like that, and threatened in rough areas I used to live in. But I've always come away luckily with my life, you know. I've never, you know, luckily until this point in time, I've never been stabbed or shot. I've never been beaten up to the point where I've been beaten unconscious or had broken bones and lots of blood beaten out of me and stuff like that. But I have had physical, you know, bullying and stuff like that. I've been attacked, you know, I've been punched in the stomach, I've been ganged up upon, I've been wrestled and punched, you know, and wrestled to the ground. When I was in primary school, I'll never forget this memory. of a time where a kid and a big tough guy, one of the toughest bullies in the school, he was renowned at the time, him and his friends, they caught me when I was playing in a park, a kids park with slides and swings and stuff, and then they circled me. They had bikes and stuff, you know, and anyway, they ended up holding me onto the ground, and then they rode bikes over my body. Luckily I wasn't injured and stuff like that at all, but I remember this and I was very scared, and I remember running for my life, you know, and the breath in me, I ran to a neighbour's house. Funny enough, the guy's house just so happened to be another somewhat bully from the same school, but I had to get away from this gang, and the door was open and I saw adults there, and he was a more kind of mellow bully as such. He wasn't one of the physical ones, but there was this old man, probably his granddad I think it was, opened the door, and I just stormed up to the gate. I said, just please can you let me in and just save me, you know. And they did. They kept me there, protected me and held me while and called my mum, you know, and they kept me there. And then the guy's dad drove me to my home, drove me home, because I was so afraid to walk home. It would have only taken around maybe 10 or 15 minutes to walk home, but you know, I was that scared at the time. When I was young, as I say, you know, and I've told this story before in multiple videos where I was bullied growing up and stuff, and things like this, about being bullied, about being mugged. I've talked about all this, how, you know, I've had various, you know, physical bullying, I've had various mental pressure that I've had on me a lot, you know, it's mental scars and stuff, really, if you want to call it that. But it's like I've told the story before about how growing up I started getting into martial arts. In fact, it was my mum that got me into martial arts by introducing me to a local karate club that was going on classes held in a library with him at the time, to which I'm very grateful for. That introduced me to martial arts, and my martial arts journey carried on through there throughout my life. So I did karate, I did kickboxing, I did various kung fu styles, kung fu, wushu, and different things. I've just constantly trained my whole life in martial arts and self-defense and all of that, but I've never ever become tough. You know, I never stood up to bullies for the most part and used my martial arts or like tried to fight or anything. Luckily, I've never been in such a dangerous situation where I've had to be forced to fight either. There have been a couple of occasions though, and I feel martial arts and my mindset, my imagination and the philosophy of the martial arts and all of that has helped me a lot. But I wouldn't say that martial arts is something that has kept me on the straight and narrow, so to speak, kept me, you know, focused, or that. It is a deep philosophy, but it's something that I connect to very naturally. It's just natural to me. You know, I believe in keeping healthy and fit. I find the arts interesting. I like the science of the self-defense, but the philosophy part, I mean, me myself, I've always been a seeker of peace. But when I say that, I don't mean I've not had peace in me. And that's why I find it hard to say that I've suffered a lot of mental bullying or mental scars. It's like I've been bullied my whole life, and it's affected me so much. It's affected everything about to where I'm living, my actual standards of living, my educational background, which has affected jobs and stuff, and thus ended me up moving to another foreign country to live for many, many years, and so many things. My fear, you could say, it's a mixture of fear and bravery, but that's helped me be who I am. But I've never been pushed and changed and moulded and like affected like that. I feel like I understand myself, and I've always been just clear about what's right and wrong. I'm a positive person. I've never been a negative person. Everybody's going to mock you. You know, bullies in general don't understand positivity. They're weak people. They're afraid. You don't have to be afraid. Okay, you don't ever need to feel bad about yourself, whether you're a kid or whether you are an adult. Okay, you don't ever have to feel bad or feel like weak or like it's your problem or like you have something wrong with you for other people's actions. Even if you're not as physically strong than those people, or you lack in some kind of knowledge, or don't have as much money or whatever, you understand yourself. You have every right to live as a human being just as they do. You know, every tree grows slightly different. Every human being is different. It's not even about your background, anything like that even really, or the world around you. You are you. And you should never feel bad about yourself or want to commit suicide or self-harm or things like that, or blame yourself for the mistakes of others. And all negativity is truly mistakes of others. Now, sometimes we say that there are no evil people or bad people, because truly we're all looking for peace, and naturally we're all looking to survive in some way. And we say what it is a lot of people are living in the dark and they're totally confused. So some people take the wrong paths in life. Some people feel there's no one to listen to them, or there's no support in some way, either through the heart, communication, and supporting them financially, whatever it is, and they feel pressured. They may be victims of bullying themselves, and their own self-pity and weakness inside, and their own fears, confusion, and in moments of despair they make wrong mistakes, but they never stop to analyse those mistakes. And what they do is they try and find ways of covering things up, and they replace this feeling, or their life, basically their time, with negative things, such as taking drugs or drinking alcohol or smoking weed and things like that. That's terrible. Those things are crap, and I'm so happy to say I've never ever done that, and I never would. I would never smoke, drink alcohol, any alcohol. That's just my personal choice, okay? And I don't take drugs, and I wouldn't take drugs. I wouldn't take to crime. I always try and avoid resorting to violence and things like that, if possible. And I understand that we can learn and we can gain positivity we can gain something, and if we something positive, and make the most of our lives if we learn from both good and bad, so positive and negative situations, and use that knowledge to make something, balance it out. You can always learn, and learning's about goodness and balance, and the more educated you become in your own learning and findings from you, which is all about your life and the experience of you and who you are, and that's it. As long as you reject negativity, it can only be good. So there's challenges we have to face and stuff like that, but you don't have to feel down about yourself and become this negative force. This is why I can't understand it. Obviously I'm not the same as somebody else. I may not have had the same upbringing as somebody else, in a rough family or in a rough neighbourhood where they've been surrounded with no option almost but to join gangs or whatever, or they've been surrounded in a ghetto type environment where there's drugs going on, murder, gunshots left and right, and stabbings. I did grow up in some rough areas, but you know what I mean, I've never been in that kind of situation where I've been feeling like there's no way out, I'm going to have to do this, like you're in the middle of a war zone almost, and you're going to have to do that, fair enough. Or even a prison, as I say, a prison situation. I've never been in prison, but there's people that say, I've heard people say, like you see on these documentaries online where people say that when you're in prison, like they give these interviews to these inmates, and they say things like, some of these inmates speak like, when you're in prison, there's nothing else you can do, because it's like you've got to join a group of some kind of gang, otherwise your life's in danger if you're on your own, and things like that. Or it's like you've got to kill or be killed, almost like fight or face the consequences. But again, fighting leads to repercussions a lot of times. So whether it's fighting or killing or even just arguing with someone in your daily life, it just goes back and forth, on and on like that. It's a negative pattern that just goes on and on. So to me, if you step in a boxing ring, or you step into a ring, let's say a competition, then, you know, there's a chance you could get hurt. That's what it is. You're there to fight, and you're there to risk getting hurt. It's like these people that take risks. People say in life you've got to take risks and stuff, but I think that's live on the edge. I think that's a little bit silly, really a bit stupid to say that, because you shouldn't put yourself in danger. You know, you can do a lot of things and test yourself and challenge yourself and improve yourself and give yourself a lot of physical attributes, mental and physical ways, in different ways that can still give you almost the same kind of effect of improvement and training in yourself, but not put yourself in danger. And there's people that say, you know, it doesn't matter, they've got to like live on the edge and take risks and all this stuff, and to me, I never understand it, you know. So then, you know, you got to try things once and all this when there's something that's obviously negative. Now, in the beginning of this little mini documentary, I said to you that, you know, that we're talking about, you know, the deadly blow as such, right? So, you know, as I say, people used to mock me when I was growing up. As I say, I remember I was in a job a long time ago, and I said that I was going to move to a foreign country, and I said I might be, you know, doing some teaching work. I was talking about a job that I was going to look into and stuff, and someone said, "Oh yeah, how are you going to do that?" And they're just like so negative because they don't believe in certain things themselves, that they can do things, and they don't want to see other people get on in life and do other things or do things for themselves. And it's these pitiful, weak people that have nothing going for them and just are filled with anger, that want to bring you down and don't want to see you doing any good for yourself. But, you know, as I say, like that guy said to me a long time ago, he was watching now, you know, when I was growing up as a kid, and someone said to me, Richard, they said, "Richard, is it true that you can deliver a deadly blow to the head?" It's funny, isn't it? Because I'm not the toughest guy, but in terms of fighting, I've been training martial arts all my life, and I don't want to deliver a deadly blow to the head unless I have to, you know, if I have to fight, obviously. Anyone can train to a degree to fight and protect themselves and keep themselves healthy and fit. You should try and avoid fights. But you know what I think? The most deadly blow to the head that you can ever have is that ignorance in life. The deadly blow to the head when your whole reality has been knocked out of your mind, when you can't see the wood through the trees, for the trees, you know, when you don't see any positivity and you don't see any changes or any chance for any good reason to be positive. You don't see any way of kicking bad habits like drinking, smoking, taking drugs, crime, gang banging, putting people down, abusing people, abusing your family, abusing yourself, being lazy. No matter how older you get, if that's a blow you take on a daily basis, at the end of the day, whatever age you're going to live to in your life, that's a deadly blow. Because when we all do eventually die, what kind of a life have you lived? So how about you know, seeking peace, trying to avoid such nonsense, you know, and being a true warrior by seeking peace in oneself. It's not about anything. This is deeper than anything. You may salute to the flag, you may be part of a certain group, or you know, respect your culture and all of that, or you may be religious or whatever it be, part of a team working. It's not about any of this stuff. It's not about your family, your friends. This is about you as an individual being a human being on this earth, this world, this nature, all of nature. You know, you are part of that, this reality. And rather than blaming others or being a constant slave to others or things and negative ideas where you just want to show how tough you are and talking about the deadly blow, whether you're going to do it with your fist or your mouth, excuse my French, but at the end of the day, there's nothing big about that. When you're living a life of fear, when you just want to live with the image and you want to be respected by others, you want to be accepted and you want to be treated the same or valued Well, sorry, but there's a lot of confused people out there who think the same. And if you're always looking for more, you're always going to be less. That's what I'm going to say there. So how about avoiding the deadly blow that you're giving yourself for so long, breaking your back for, and living more positively. Victims and bullies, okay? We're all the same, we're all human beings. We've all got to stop being the victim. We've got to put down the negative stuff. It's not about a persona. It's not raining. Keep your thinking cap on if you wanna. You know, it's not about that slang you're talking, the way you're walking. It's not about them, that advertisement that you do on the outer image. And there's far more to a human being than a deadly blow. I'll say thank you very much for watching this. Take care. My name is Richard Clark. Seek peace. I do advise people to train martial arts though. Any kinds of martial arts and physical training to make you stronger in yourself, healthy and fit in your mind and body. Do regular training, train hard and stay safe. You've got one life journey. Follow your passions in life too. And everybody has the right to safety, so you know, self-defensive skills and just living a life of peace. Thanks for watching. Take care now.
Yeah, ain't nobody backing me up. Kill myself, nah, I'ma back you up. Before you fucking stab me up, I knock you fucking out, man, grab the cup. I don't do drugs, I don't drink or smoke, I don't do crime, so they can't lock me up. I knock you down, bitch, I'ma smack you up. 2 fists here cause I had enough. Yeah, you acting like a pussy, you can't do shit. Chuck your body in the back of a bush. If I had a car, I'd probably push it over you just to get the work out. You a wuss. I ain't had lunch, man, I ain't had money in my pocket for you to rob off me. You don't get it, got it, bitch, I'ma put your body back in that coffin. After I drag you out again and start popping your fucking ass, hanging you up, cause I need training. You don't need shit, man, you ain't got a brain in your skull, man, your cranium. You look like an alien, got no fucking time, bitch, I'm just saying. Fuck motherfuckers, ain't a slave to fear. I'm a bust motherfuckers, it's the chains I break and I'm here. I ain't scared of the rain, you see, so fuck yourself, you're ashamed to be.